going on, guys? In this video we're taking a look at the 13-inch Poco series Kamado grill from Vessils. They sent this out to me about a month ago. I've had this for a little bit just because I've never had a Kamado grill in the past. I just wanted to check it out for a little bit and get used to it and learn a little bit about the fire management and get used to it. They asked me if I want to do a review video and just tell my thoughts on the grill, and that's what we're going to do today in this video, so stick around, guys, and check it out. So this thing comes packed extremely well. It comes in a big box. There's a ton of extra cardboard, so if you're worried about anything getting damaged while it's shipped, pretty much this thing is going to be packed really well, so don't even have to worry. But when you get it shipped to you, what you're going to get is you're going to get the actual Kamado itself. You're going to get a ceramic insert for heat management. You're going to get a heat management plate with the stand that you set inside the grill. Then obviously you're going to get the grill that sits on top of that. Then they also give you a little ash tool, so like you can clean out the inside of the grill, you know, when ash builds up. And also, speaking about ash, with the Kamado grill, you basically want to use lump charcoal just because briquettes produce more ash. It's just better to use lump. I'm pretty sure the briquettes are not good for the Kamado, so stay away from that. So I've watched a bunch of videos in the past on Kamado grills. Bringing this thing up to temperature is super easy. There's a couple different ways you can light it. You can go with the little, you can go with these little tumbleweeds if you want to go with those. Just throw a couple in there and light them up, and then after a while you're gonna get a little spot where it's lit up, and then it's gonna bring it up to temperature. But my preferred method is the good old-fashioned blowtorch. A lot of people use these nowadays. I'm just gonna check on these ribs. Now I found with this cooker, because it's so small, you get a lot of heat, even though there's a heat deflector. I'm just gonna rotate these ribs and turn them over because you could see it still gets pretty toasty down there. So I just want to keep my eye on these ribs and make sure they don't burn up. And they look like they're getting pretty done pretty quick. So we're going at like 250, 275. And so basically the way I light this is under that heat deflector, I just get a blowtorch and just light one section of the charcoal until it starts to get lit up a little bit. Put a few pieces of wood in there, not too much because it's going to smoke too much. And then I leave all the vents wide open, the top and the bottom. And then when it starts to get pretty hot and come up to temperature, I just shut it down to where it's about 1 inch, closed like that. And then this top piece right here, you can open it like that and get some good airflow in there. Then when it starts to get too hot, I just shut that down, and you can kind of play with this little wheel right here to kind of mess with the airflow. So as far as functionality, it's pretty easy to control. This is the first Kamado I've had, and it's pretty easy. And yeah, so now I got those ribs on there. This is probably like the 4th cook I've done on this. I've had it about 3 weeks or a month, I think. I've just done some hot and fast, you know, some chicken thighs I grilled on there. I cooked a tri-tip. I did a reverse sear on that. In the last video I did a smoked burger that was pretty fast. It didn't smoke for that long. I got the ribs on there. All I did was a simple seasoning. I threw them on. They've been on for like 45 minutes. This cook is probably gonna be like 3, maybe 4 hours. It's probably gonna be the longest cook so far that I've done on it. And honestly, as far as expectations, if you're gonna buy a grill this size, you shouldn't be expecting, you're not gonna smoke a whole brisket on there. You can smoke a pork butt, you can do the ribs like that. I rolled them up because you can't just lay them flat on the 13-inch grill. You could probably slice them in half and do, you know, 2 halves like that if you wanna try that. But I saw Bad Beast Barbecue roll them up and I wanted to try it like that, so. Now, as far as who's the right customer for this grill, I would say if you're a single person or a couple and you're not cooking that much food, maybe you live in a townhouse, an apartment, or a condo. Maybe your apartment complex says you're not allowed to have grills and you live upstairs and you got a balcony and you still want to have a grill anyway. You could put this on the side in the corner and you can kind of sneak having a grill. That's perfect for that. But just know that you're not gonna be doing, you know, cooking for a ton of people on a small grill like that. I would say you can do it for tailgating. You can take this thing tailgating, but it's extremely heavy. So this, for me, I don't think this is the kind of thing where you're gonna throw in the back of your truck or your car and just take it all the time. This is a tabletop Kamado, so you wanna find a spot in the backyard and just leave it right there. Now, as far as the pros and cons go for this grill, so the pros are gonna be, this is compact, well built. It feels like a premium product. Even though I've never had another Kamado in the past, I really can't compare it to anything else, but you can just tell when something's made premium. It's easy to manage temperature, and Kamado grills, just in general, they're extremely versatile. You could smoke stuff on there, you could do hot and fast grilling like I was talking about. And this thing comes up to temperature pretty fast. It only takes about 20 minutes, maybe a half hour after you light it until it gets up to like 250, 275. But one thing you want to keep in mind is with that thermometer on there, it might say 275 or 300. I think it cooks about 25 degrees hotter than what it says on the thermometer because it's great level. You're not getting that great level reading because the thermometer is up pretty high, so keep that in mind. And then obviously, just like any other grill or smoker, all you do to shut it down is you take the top vent and close it, close the bottom vent, then eventually the fire is going to go out, and that's all you got to do. Now I was trying to think about what the cons are for this grill, like any negatives. I already said don't expect to be cooking a big brisket on here, because obviously you're not going to do that, but you should already know that going into it. I would say my biggest gripe on that grill would be, because you look at the size of it and it's a small grill, so you're thinking you're going to be able to take it around and just move it from the front yard to backyard pretty simple. If you want to just throw it in the back of your car and just take it on a day trip and do whatever you want to do. That's not that type of grill. I mean, this thing is super heavy. It's got to be at least 100 pounds or maybe over 100 pounds, because it's got the handles on there, and then you pick it up and it's, you know, it's beefy, like definitely. So basically that's pretty much my only complaint. There's not too much that I'm not satisfied with it. All right, so at the end of the day, the final verdict on this little Kamado grill right here is definitely a huge thumbs up. Would I recommend this for someone to buy? Absolutely, 100%. Easy to control, fire management's easy, it comes up to temperature pretty fast like I was talking about before. I'm pretty sure these ribs are gonna taste really good. And if you're someone just getting into barbecue or grilling, this is the perfect learning tool in my opinion. It's better than a pellet grill, and it's not so complex like a big stick burner or anything like that. Definitely check it out. I'll put the link for Vessils down below in the description if you want to check it out. And they're not paying me to do this video. This is strictly just my opinion. They did give me the grill, like I said, but other than that, guys, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and share the content, like I always say. Peace out. Thank you. There you go, guys. Honestly, flavor-wise, they taste good, but they were overcooked, as you could see, kind of shredding apart a little bit. A little bit dry, but they still taste good. I don't care. I just let the temperature get away from me a little bit. It got a little too hot, but that's my fault. Thanks again, guys.